Everyone. Yes, so good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining today's session. I think we have Yomi here. So, Yomi, will you do revision of what we had last week? Just one or two things, or okay, let's even ask from the house that. So, how many of us were here last week? Oh, this is 8:03. Should we give others like 2-3 minutes to join, or we can? Yes, that's why I want to start with revision actually. So we give people more time to join so we can start. So for people that are here, at least benefit for joining early. So do you have any question from last week's session that you would like us to shed more light on? And maybe we can have one or two people that can tell us what they learned in the last session. Then at least we know that people are following and they are getting what we are saying. I can see Rachel's name just very bold on my screen. So it's because your name is big. That's why. Becky, be preparing because your name is also very big. So Rachel, do you want to help? Hi, Rachel. So Rachel is here, but Rachel is not here. Okay. Hi, Becky. Hello, Becky. Yes, that means people have joined in the flesh. They are not here physically. Okay, then Kazim, do you want to help? Hello, Kazim. I've called like 4 people now. What's going on? Hello? Okay, Yomi, please. Who are you? Who, who can you recommend that tell us what they learned last week, Yomi?
Uh, I think I
Just
can
help
recommend
people.
two people. I can recommend Adiola and La Yinka. I
Okay,
know
so
them.
Adiola, can you help me? Adiola, help.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, yeah, nice one. It's been an interesting time with the learning, and I can say last week it was an interesting part of it. So the logicality of the whole exercise begins, and it sank really well. So last week, we were able to run through the functionality of arithmetic in a SQL, which count, sum, average, mean, and max. So of which we are able to, lay down some examples on the usage of count. So how we can put in the count functionality in an SQL query to query our data, to manipulate our data. So we talked, from our database, we have a product table.
Okay.
So from this product table, we have a series of samples which we were able to run through from supply ID. So we can't from critical number on the table. We can't from what is it called, having a non-valued on the table. So we check from the table to see how we can actually use distinct and count together. So we because using a distinct from with count means we are counting a unique supplier ID, like a unique ID from your data sheet. So why, if you are counting, if you are just using count all from your table, so you are counting the whole data from that particular table. Maybe probably is picking you out even your non-value. But if you are picking out your count with a supplier ID, so it will count the row and exclude the non-value that are in the table. So from there are a series of examples that we picked actually. So from there we'll go into some. So we still pick from the same table, which is a product table. we're able to select a category with sum, total price of data on the table. So which actually help us to nullify with identify the non-value and the actual value from using the sum. So we're able to, you know what sums mean actually, generally, just to, to sum out some total value of data in your worksheet.
Yes.
So we're taught on various
aggregations.
Here to actually put it to use.
All
so
right,
it's
perfect.
helpful, and also from there we'll go to the average.
Oh, good.
Average, we still use the same data to manipulate average on a Excel sheet. So we're able to, average, we're taught on how to, round up value to two decimal, to any decimal number you have of your choice. So we're taught on how to use it, and in our worksheet, you can use round, sum together in a particular script. So
good.
which I believe everybody in the section were able to, know how to, identify it and use that. So from there, with the same data set, we were able to manipulate data on minimum and maximum.
Good.
On the table. So it's interesting. I ran through it after with the script our lecturer shared after the
class.
So it's helpful. I took my time from Monday till Friday to ensure I digest it. So it's helpful for me, and I strongly believe all the whole class, they were excited to to gain a whole lot from the class too.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for that, Adiola. Thank you so much for that, and good that at least you have that now. And when people are talking about SQL outside, at least you know that aggregations, at least you are no longer new to SQL. So that's perfect. That's perfect. And thank you for the summary of what you learned last week, Saturday. Yeah, so we'll be building on that today. I'm looking at the number of participants. I'm seeing just 13, 12. Are we still expecting people, or these are the people that are available? Because the number of people that registered, we're seeing like, so out of 500, it's only 13 people. Why? Well, that's fine. So today we're going into joints and union. Hopefully our time will allow us. So let me share my screen. Where is this slideshow? Yes. So for the joints and union, I will just introduce us to them, explain what we have under each one of them, and show us the example. Then we now go to the practical hands-on session. Then we'll pick them one by one. So join and union are two major data, it's not aggregation, so data merging techniques. So let me say merging. So data merging techniques that we have under SQL. And why do we merge data set? So we merge data sets sometimes maybe because the information that we need for our analytics, it's available across separate tables. So we bring them together in order to have a unique table, then move to our visualization environment, right? But, these guys, they are three, but it's only two you can use in SQL. The third one is when you're doing visual data modeling. And that one, you have it in Power BI, whereby you just create relationship. I don't know if you've seen it. You just see the line. And if you're building data model, you can also see the line. But in SQL, when you're writing script, you use either a join or a union. So those are the two that I've used so far. Let me put it that way, because all this technology space, they are always fun. But for the two of them, just have it at the back of your mind that when you join tables, you are increasing the number of columns in your final tables. No, you are increasing the number of columns in your final table. But That you have 50 columns doesn't mean you are selecting the whole 50 columns. So your final table, because you're merging two tables together, so if first table is having 10 columns and the other table is having 15 columns, by the time you merge them together, you're expected to have like 25 columns. But now in your query, like the introduction to SQL queries, we discussed around how you can select some specific columns within your data set. So if you join two tables together, you increase your possibilities of picking columns. So if I join table A and B, by the time the join is successful, I can pick 2 columns from table A and pick 3 columns from table B. And you can see that I've increased my space, my data space. So that's why we use join. So if you're taking notes, you can put that your join results in wider table. So your table, 10 columns, now it's increased to 10 plus 15. That's 25 columns. So it makes your table wider. So that's for joins. Then when we come to union, what union is helping you to achieve, it's a longer table. Longer table in that if I have 3 columns that are of interest to me in a specific table, and I now pick that same set of columns from another table. So 3 columns, 3 columns. But I noticed that from the first table, I have just 5 rows. And from the second table, I have 10 rows. So see the calculation, just paint the picture. 3 columns, 5 rows. That's the first extract from the first table. Then I have another 3 columns, then 10 rows from the other table. By the time I create a union statement, by the time I union both of them, I'll be having my final result will now be 3 columns, then 5 plus 10, that's 15 rows. And that becomes my final answer. So if you're writing notes, you can say your union help you to get a longer table. So your join make things wider, whereby your union make things longer. So that's the 2 main things that you need in that space. So we can walk through what our agenda today, very light, because we tend not to rush you. Just understand the concept and being able to use it. So we'll be looking at joints. We'll be discussing 5 types of joints, and that's your inner joint, your left join, your right join, your full join, and your set join. Then we'll be talking about union, and under union, we have your normal union, and we have union. You'll be able to differentiate between those ones. Please, yes, now I'm running through presentations. So once I'm done with the presentation, we just go and go and do hands-on. We pick them one by one. We create an example, then we'll solve it. So that's the pattern. So your SQL joins, like I said, is used to combine data from 2 or more tables in a database. So, and join is that powerful, it can work across databases as long as you are within the same environment. So you can pick table A from database A and table B from database B, and you bring them together as long as there exists an identifier that you can use to join both tables. Yes, as long as there is an identifier. So when they're related, when the related data is stored across multiple tables, so join helps you to retrieve records, right, and combine the fields in the table into one final table. And that's the main aim of your join. And like I said, it helps you to create what? A wider table. And this is the syntax, just how to, it's very simple. Select your columns. Those are the column names, the columns you're interested in, from table 1 and table 2. It's that simple. And yes, but by the time you're writing your script, you will see additional syntax, which is the on. And we explain why that on is important, but just have the picture at the back of your mind that you are joining table 1 to table 2. So that's what we're trying to explain here. Yes. And this is an example that we will be running. whereby we are joining customer table. Oh, I missed the word there. Actually, I noticed that customer is not customer. So we are joining customer table to orders table. And what are we doing? We just want to know the customer, the proper name of the customers who are ordering those items from us. So we'll be checking the customer ID, we'll be checking the customer name, and with that, we can get the customer country. At least I won't spend much time here, but at least when we get to the practical session, we explain it better. And you can see I'm joining the customer table to the order table. On that on is what you use to identify the primary key and the foreign key. So I want both of them to join. If you forget this on, this guy will still go ahead and join, but it will duplicate data set for you, which will be very wrong. So it's very important you use this on. So you can use on this guy and this guy. And there is another way to use join, which to some extent, we don't recommend, but you do it at times just to validate what is in your head. And that is use of where clause. When we're doing the practical session, I will show us. So where you can say where this guy in table A is equal to this guy in table B, then you join them together. It will also work. And it can be lighter, and yes, it can be a lifesaver at times. But if you're writing proper script, please use join. Like in the organization, use join. Let it be clear. And you can see it makes logical English statement when you're reading this. So I'm selecting customer ID from the meaning of this dot is from customer table, give me customer ID. From customer table, give me customer name. From customer table, give me country. The reason why, like I will be showing us in the practical session, the reason why we need to specify the table for this is because the two tables we are working with, they both have customer ID. So if you forget to mention the table where you want to pick this first customer ID from, your environment will be confused that, well, according to this script, I can see two customer ID. The question is, which one do you want? So you need to specify the one you are interested in. So that's why we have this. And we'll be seeing that. Like I said, I won't be wasting time on explaining this. Yes. So let's speak about inner join. And what inner join for all this scenario, just be thinking in your head of two tables, table 1 and table 2. One on the left, one on the right. So table 1 is the one on the left and table 2 is the one on the right. And I hope we understand that by the time you're writing multiple query, you can add table 1 and table 2. Use them to form another table. You can call them table A. Then bring another table, which is the third one. That becomes table C, table B. Then you merge that one together too. So when you see a complex script, if you look into it very well, what they are just doing is pick one table, do all the magic you want to do, join it to another table, do some complex magic, merge those two together, then join to another one. You understand? Step by step by step. And so if you understand how to combine two tables, then if they give you 50 tables, the only thing you need to ask is, how are they related? What are we looking for? Which kind of problem are we trying to solve at this time? You understand? And that will guide you on the kind of joins you need to. Sometimes you need ID from table 1 and table 2 to merge them together in order to find another connection in table 3. So if you are not able to join table 1 and 2, anything that is going on in table 3 doesn't concern you. So that's why you might see. So when you see a script that is long, yeah, well, we've written scripts, we know. So, but at least it all started from understanding how two tables work. So if you understand that, you can take it to advanced level. So for inner join just we'll be using set. For people that study mathematics, this one will be to be, so it's the same thing as set. Your join is nothing but a set. So for inner join, what you're looking for is what is common to both sides. So what have value in table A, in table 1, and also have corresponding value in table 2. So those are the only results you have in your final table. So if you have any records that exist in table A, table 1, but doesn't have corresponding value in table 2, you won't see it in this inner join. And that's it for inner join. So we have the example, which I will be explaining, but let's move to right and left join. Yes, for the right and left join, they are doing absolutely the same thing, but it's just we are changing sides. And when you're writing script, most of the time you'll be seeing left join. And the reason is that your table of interest is what you always start with. So your table of interest is the table where all the records or all the value that exists in it are important to the analysis you're doing. That's why I call it table of interest. So your table of interest can be a combination of multiple tables in order to form one result. It's a table of interest. So you get that one. Then the table on the right-hand side are now where you're picking some additional or expanding information from. That's why most scripts you'll be seeing left join. But who knows? You might be writing your own script and you choose to add relevant to information. I won't say relevant information to irrelevant. That's not good, but that is a possibility. Whereby in this case, your relevant information are the one on the right-hand side. So you want to preserve them. Everything on the right-hand side. And right, to some extent, can be below. So it's always below on your script. So just think of it. Right, below, left, above. You understand? Just think of it. So now, if you're using right join, it means preserve the table below or the table on the right side and only pick corresponding value on the left-hand side. So that's why you're seeing everything in table 2 is green. So it means no matter what happened, preserve all the information in table 2. Then for expansion of insight or information, pick corresponding values in table 1. That's right join. But for left join means preserve my table 1. In this case, that's my upper script or my upper table. Preserve this information and pick corresponding value in table 2, which is the one below. So that's why I said most of the time you'll be seeing left join in people's script because you want to add information to what you've understand, like the understanding you have. So we have an example of that. Then we go to that. Then we have full join. And full join is, I don't want to say universal set. How do they come? Yes, but full join means preserve all the information that exists in this data set, in this table, everything. But where there are relationships, please make sure you match them. But where there are no relationship, just put null and let's move on. Right? So that's that around full out join. And self-join. Oh, I think there are no images. The meaning of self-join is self-referencing. So this left join is still left join, but self-referencing. So there is no image for that. I don't have any image for that. So I just left that one there. So self-join is self-referencing. So I picked some information within myself. Then I want to pick corresponding. For example, I have a customer from Nigeria. So I can pick that customer and I can pick again another customer from Nigeria. So I can join that customer to the other customer. So you can say, oh, these two customers, oh, you are both from Lagos. Do you know each other? So that's self-join because I'm still referencing myself as a table. So we are only using one table. So self-reference or self-join. Yeah, so we have an example of full join and we have an example of self-join, which we'll be seeing in her. Then we move to the union. Yes, and like I've explained, union, you're just increasing the number of rows in your data set. So here, you're picking information from table 1 and you're adding it like under and you had in table 2. But I said when you use union, this guy help you with something. It picks only distinct records. So if you have 2 customer ID that are the same thing, union will look at the customer ID column and only pick one record for a single customer ID. Whereby the union all just say, okay, I won't touch your data set. You say all. So if you have duplicate records, everybody is going under union. So that's just the difference between union and union. And you have an example for the script. You can see they are almost the same thing. Then enough English. I think we can go to our SQL-Lite environment and we can pick it up from there. So, like I always do, so we are starting with joins. So please confirm. You can see my screen.
Yes, can.
All right, good. So we are starting with joins. So joins. So joins. So the first example we have here is we want to create a join between 2 tables. So we are joining customer. So we're joining customer table with the other table. And what we're just picking is, so I hope we remember, okay, let me make it bigger. Yes, so we know this star /star is just to create a comment in our script because I'm not seeing wrong. Can I hide this guy? Let me hide it. Or can I float it to the other side? All right, good. Yes, because we're using this run, and this run, we run everything on your screen. So it's good. We put everything inside comment. Anything we don't want to execute, we put it in the comment, and we only type out what we're interested in. So in this case, we're given a request to join customer table, customers to orders. And what are we getting? To get orders, and customer name and country. To make it interesting, so let's say you are being given a question. So let me form a proper question. So, and the question is, which customer has the highest count of orders? Remember, Yomi did justice to aggregations last week. So if you missed out on last week, make sure you watch last week recordings. So some of the things we are doing in this set can make sense. So which customer has the highest order? And we are expected to get order count. So in this case, they need order count. They need the order count. They need the name, the country, right? The name and the country. You can see how the request is building up, right? Order count, request, and country. Let's see in your orders. I don't think we have one in there. I can do select star from orders. One, put semicolon just to terminate my script. So if I run this, so you can see the customer, you can see, so see this information now. You can see this is the problem we are trying to solve. First, before I go and started writing my join up and down, do we understand the problem we are about to solve using this join? Any question?
I think it's still going. It's perfect for me.
It's good. All right, perfect. Do we have any other person? Any question? Because SQL is not hard, but if you don't understand the problem you are solving, everything will look it will look like we are talking from the other side. So if you understand the problem, then you can think along the line to solve the problem. So in this case now, we are being asked to get the customer with the highest count of orders. Because orders doesn't have anything about money, so we are not concerned about money. We just want to know how many times have you ordered from us? Be it Jumia, be it Konga. How many times have you ordered from our platform? Maybe we are doing customer rewarding, and we are rewarding you for being most frequent buyer on our platform, irrespective of your salary category. We just noticed that you keep visiting us and you keep buying things. So I can see the customer, I can see your order ID, and I can see your customer ID, which is the key I'm interested in, right? And I can see the employee ID, which speaks about maybe the person that marketed our platform to you, or the person that introduced you to our platform. But yes, we are interested about our customers. So you can see we have our customer ID, right? In this case, because I want to get count of order, this table becomes the most interesting table to me, right? So if I come here and I say select count, and I'm counting what? Order ID, right? From this guy. And also what is available is what? Customer ID. Because this order ID and customer ID is what I need to join the customer table. Because what the business is asking for is your customer name and the country. Here, I don't have any information about the customer. So if I run this, it will throw up an error. Who can tell me why? The simple reason is I have an aggregate function and I have an ordinary column, and I didn't put group by. So let's just, because part of what we discussed last week is that whenever you are running an aggregate and you want to do it across a specific column, yes, you need to put group by. So group by what? Group by this free column. So once you're grouping by that free column, we execute, all things being equal, you have this. So it's telling you this customer ID have ordered for me how many times? Once, twice, 10 times, all those things. Yes, but you can see this column is not showing any. That's why we need to introduce alias. Does alias work here? It should work. So if I say count of order ID as, I like using tot, meaning total order. So I can call it tot orders. Hopefully it works. Yes. So you can see tot orders, meaning total orders. Let me put this guy in capital. So you know the amount. Yes, so tot orders. So that's my total orders. Is it making sense? Is it making sense? Any question? All right. Somebody might be saying, oh, they asked us for highest. So you can bring order by. They will not arrest you for that. Just bring in order by. Well, if you're using MySQL, you can use tot order. The guy will see it. But SQL can be funny at times. It won't see it. So just bring in count of order ID. And you need to sort it descending. So it comes from the highest to the lowest. Perfect. So looking at this, you can see that my customer ID 20, the guy is a performer. He has ordered from me 10 times. So he's a customer to look out for. Do we have any question? Have I used any new function that we've now discussed? We've discussed group by now. The silence.
Yes, we have discussed group by before. Was there a question?
Yes. I'm asking. Yes, it's a question. So what of order by? Have we discussed order by?
No, but I think order by is to
Just
populate the result either by ascending or descending to like in an ascending order or descending order.
perfect. Yes. So, and the reason why we had need to introduce this is because they ask which customer has the highest count of orders. So we need to introduce order by. So apologies if yes, but at least we know why it's there. Right? So once we have this information, we can now, this guy, I can just pack everything and put them here. Then the next thing is what? Let's look at the second table, which is what? The customer. Select star from customer. So if I look at my second table, what are the things we need from the second table? We need the customer ID, right? We need the customer name and the country. Those are the information that the business requested from us. Why am I not? I want to move this guy. The guys are disappearing. Yes. So I want to be able to pick this country. Right? So for me to be able to pick that, so I can just pick those columns that I'm interested in. So I'll just say customer ID. Then the customer name. Then what? I need my country. Right? And that's it. So if I pick these three columns, you can see these are my three columns. Do we have any questions on those three? Do we have any question?
No, for me.
All right, good. Others, please, let's talk. This class is for a lot. It's for a lot of people. It's for a lot of people. Do we have questions?
Not from me.
Right. All right, good. So if there are no questions, so let's move on. So the next thing we want to do is just bring in your table, your previous script, just join it straight up. Let's just have that. But when you're joining, because these guys are scripts, right? It's always advisable to put them inside what we call an alias. So I will show you how to do that. So if I bring in this guy, okay, yes, maybe because I'm using this guy. So if I bring in my guy here, because this guy is a script, right? So I can put it in the bracket, and this becomes my table here. That's an alias. That A is my alias. In red. Then I can join this second guy, which is now my table B, right? Then I will now select star from this guy. right? So the meaning of select star is I'm selecting everything from both tables. If I run this, yes, let's run it. But if you notice, I've not put on. So let me just write it properly. So now the question is your table A and table B. What is common to both of them? If you notice, custom ID is here, custom ID is here. So I can say on A dot custom ID equals B dot custom ID. So the meaning of that is look at table B. Make sure you are picking this custom ID. Look at table A. Make sure you are picking this custom ID. Right? Now, if I run this, there is a possibility it throws up error because there are two columns that are common to both tables. And I said select star. So this guy will say, you asked me to select star. Now I have two custom ID. Which one do you want me to pick from? So if I run this, yes. Okay. So one is complaining about the other byte, which is fine. I can remove it and bring it outside. And so it's complaining about this guy. So he's saying I can't put it there, but that's not an issue. So if I run this, okay. So you can see it's duplicating the custom ID twice, right? And I will not want this in my table. And some environments, this custom ID won't go because they are both custom ID and custom ID. So what you can do is the order by that I removed. So you can return it here. So you can now order by, you just put your total orders, right here, outside orders. Yes, put it outside. Then I will now specify the columns I'm interested in. So I will just say, give me total orders, comma, give me custom ID, just one. For this custom ID, I can say give me a dot custom ID. It means the custom ID that is in table here. That's what I want you to return. And give me customer name and country. You can see the way how I'm picking up my information one by one. So it will pick this, 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 and this. Then it will order it by what? This, descending. So if I run this, and you can see your total orders, custom ID, the customer name, and country. And that's, so with this, you can come and say, oh, we've seen Ernst, and Dell is the customer with the highest order. So that solves that using join. Right? So that's just using join. And yes, do we have any question on this? Any question? None? All right, good, good. So this is the same guide we will use for the left join and the right join. But what we will do is we'll put them in a box. As a box, yes, we can put them in an aggregation whereby we just count the number of records. Because if you're looking at them on the surface like this, you might be telling yourself, yes, it's the same thing, it's the same result. So let's just pick this one and put it in, let's just put it under our solution here. So that is using join. So first one, let's use right join. If we are, rather than using ordinary join, in this case, let's assume that we used right join. See what will happen. If we have any customer that have not ordered from us, when we are using only join, we will not have their customer ID, their customer name. If we use ordinary join. Also, if you use left join, you won't have them. But if you come and say right join, remember, I told us that when we say right, it means the table on the right-hand side. In this case, this table below is of priority if we use right join. If we use left join, this table above becomes our priority. So if we use right join, if you come here and you put right join, this guy will work, but there is a probability you have some customer name and customer ID that have never ordered from you. That order, you just have no. Does that make sense? Any question?
Sorry, sir.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you repeat the last statement? The
Okay.
right join.
Good. So, yes, thank you for that. So what I said about right join is that if you say right join, it means prioritize the table on the right-hand side. And in this case, your table on the right-hand side is the table below this guy. And what that simply means is that, first of all, go and get the list of all my customers first. So what this guy will do for you, first of all, give you all the list of your customers. Then it will now merge it to people with orders. So in case if you have any customer without orders, if I run this now, there's a possibility you will see customer where total order is null. It means they don't have orders. But because you use right join, which means you are prioritizing this customer above every other thing you're doing, then it will bring them in. Does that make sense?
Okay, so please, can you join more than can you join up like 3 or 4 tables together?
Sure.
So then, in that case, if you use right join or left join, which one is it going to prioritize? Does it have...
if you do right, so first it will prioritize the one on the far right-hand side, followed by the one next, followed by the one next. So if I put another, just an example, I won't put it, but if I say another right join, right join, I'll put it here. It will prioritize this guy first before considering this guy. Does that make sense? So that's the order. So the far right, followed by the next one, followed by the next one. Then. So, but let's run this. Let's see if we have some customers without orders. Then it will at least be clearer. Do we have people typing this thing as I'm typing it, or I'm just typing on my own, or I'm too fast? Well, if you have any question, please let me know. Sorry, I think it's not seeing it yet. Good. So can you see? We have a lot of customers. And you can see the reason why those customer ID are null is because where am I picking customer ID from? I'm picking it from the other table, this other table. So it's telling me that I have Let's Shop and Shop. All these guys, they are my customers, but they have never ordered from me. And that's why you have a lot of null. Because of what? I choose to prioritize this guy on the right-hand side. And that's why I have all these no. So the guy will just say, okay, I will give you these guys, but because they don't have corresponding transaction, I will just put no. And you have all of them. Yes, any question?
So my question is, how do I even know which one is left, which one is right?
Good. And I mentioned that the one at the top is the one on the left. Any query you have at the top.
Thank you.
And see this
Thank
A is, so if you, how would I say, I want to say if you turn like this right joint, if you turn like right joint, yeah, imagine you are standing on this row 17 now, and you are standing sideways like this. So what is on your right hand side is the one below. What is on your left hand side is the one above. So that's the way the guy reads it. So if you say prioritize the one on the right, it means prioritize the one below. If you say prioritize the one on the left, it means prioritize the one above. So that's your right join, and we've seen the implication. It introduced null to others that don't have corresponding customer information or customer ID. So it just introduced null because they have never ordered from you. So that's that. So I can copy this, cut it out. So to clarify that, we just take everything here and we'll rename it as what? Left join. You can see there is no more changes. No, we don't have more changes. The main thing is just come here and change your right to left. Right? 1 minute. Any question? Any question? Any question? Just change the left.
No question. No question.
All right. Just change the right to left. Then we're good. All right. So if you come here, just run this. This gives you like what your join is doing. Because why? You have prioritized the one above. So you will only see corresponding. And maybe it's the database principle that for every order, there is a corresponding customer ID. So it means somebody can order if the person is not in your customer table. So that's why you can see everything is full. So it means your join and your left join, they are doing almost the same thing. Yes. Because that's actually the expected, that's the expected stuff. But I think the power of join is even if you copy this guy, if you take it up and you bring this other one down, it will still adjust it somehow. But if you use left join, it means I'm prioritizing the one above beyond this guy. So it will give you all the records. Any question? Any question? Any question? Question. Any question?
None from me, I must say.
Go ahead.
I got it.
You got it. That's fine. Once you have it, it's good. For others, yes. It shows it's not something complex, but if you have questions, you can ask now. That's the benefit of being in class. So if there are no questions, so let me just split this guy. You here. So let's do another thing. Right? So the next thing we want to do is, let's just do inner join. So for this inner join, if they just ask you that, so select order ID, customer name, and shipper name, right? So select order ID, customer name, and shipper name. Remember, if I do select star from order, is it others? Is others. If I do select star from others, what you can see is you can see your customer ID, you can see order ID, you can see customer ID, you can see customer name, and you can see shipper ID, you can see shipper name. But what they want is customer name, shipper name, right? In this case, do you have anything about shipper? You have shipper. Do you have anything about customer? You have customer. It means they want you to join 3 tables, right? And because order ID is the is the least one, you're looking for where the 3 intersect. So you can use inner join. That I want a customer that have order. I want to get their name and I want to get the shipper name. So you can come here and do select. Let me just copy this thing because I don't like typing. So you can do one first. Let's do one first. I can say select customer ID and customer name from orders, right? Customer ID, customer name from orders. I can say inner join, inner join, inner join, inner join, inner join customers. So am I joining this guy on orders dot customer ID equals customers dot customer ID. That's the first one, right? So if I run this, it gives me 2 columns, order ID and customer name first. Then I can go further and say inner join. Inner join what? I'm doing inner join shippers, 1 minute, shipper, shippers, okay, inner join shippers on, still I'm joining on orders dot shipper ID, right, equals shipper dot shipper ID, right? And in this place, what am I bringing? Do I have my shipper name? Yes, I have shipper name. Yes. So if I run this, I should have my third column. Yes. Let's look. Do you have any question? Please give me 1 minute. Just look at it. If you have any question, let me know. One. Do we have any question? Question. Or is it clear? I know somebody is asking, can we use left join, right join? Perfect, you can use it. Well, I'm just showing you that it's working. You can use inner join. If you come here and you change this guy to left join, but remember we're on inner, I'm just changing this guy for record's sake. If you change it to left join, it's join is join. That's the main thing. You still have your answer. And if you forget, you don't know, maybe it's left or right, and you just put join. Join is still join. If you still have your answer. And nothing will break. Does it make sense? Well, if you come and you mistakenly put right, you break something. Something will break. Let's put right. The meaning of right is I'm prioritizing shippers, right? After prioritizing shippers, I'm also prioritizing my customers. Let's see. Right. Why is it complaining? Incorrect is near word on right join. I just put right customer. Right? So right join. Okay, so let's throw down federal shipping. Oh, well, I think the reason for that is all the shippers have worked on my orders. So that's why. So because I've prioritized this. But if I ignore this, if I ignore, you can see because I prioritize shippers, and for all my orders, at least they have corresponding shippers, and all my shippers have worked on one order or the other. So, but if I ignore this guy, if I move this guy out, and I say only give me customer ID, then we're back to the problem that we had the other time, where you have a lot of them. So let me just return it, and we go back to where we're coming from, which is the inner join. No. Why? That's it. So inner join, and that's it. Any question?
Okay, so for this one, we didn't give this tables alias like the other one.
Yes, we choose not to give them alias.
So what's the benefit of the alias if you are giving them alias?
Because this one was a script, we need to put them in alias, right? But for this one also, you can see this guy is long. Others thought is stressful. In real life, you can say your orders is your first table. Put it A as A. Then this guy, second table, put it as B. Then this one is the third table, put it as C. And the moment you have the ABC, just come here, just come and replace orders and put A. Where you have customers, put B. Where you have orders, put A. And where you have shippers, put B. Put C. Sorry. This guy also works. So if I run this, everybody is happy. So you put these alias to save yourself some stress. Imagine you have like 10 to 15 tables to merge together. You typing the table full name might not be optimal, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good. Now, before we move from here, let me now write I won't say the bad one, but it's just showing the power of your where clause. So I can say I'm writing this join using my where clause, using where clause. I will still be pasting this inner join, but we're using where clause. And what will I be doing? I will just ignore all my inner join story. I'll put a beautiful comma there, right? And I'll come here and say where a.customer ID equals b.customer ID. And I'll just copy this guy and go and put it here, right? Good. Since I know it's not where. Yes. Can you see? So I'm writing the same thing, but I'm using a where clause to bring my tables together. So I'm saying where a.customer ID, that's the other table, equals b.customer ID, that's the customer table. So merge them together. And when you go to the shippers table, so order.shipper ID equals shippers.shipper ID. So when you have both tables, those are the things I want you to pick up. And if you run this, it gives you your result. Yes. So this one can come to your quick rescue at times, where you just write the where clause first. Then after, you can now break it down further and go and write the proper inner join constants. Yes. Do we have any question around this where? Or I move it to where his colleagues are. So that's where. Then the last but not the least around join is self-join. Right? Self-join. So, and for this self-join, like the example I gave the other time, match, so they can say match customers from the same cities. So match customers from the same city. Does that make sense? Do we have questions? So I can write a script and say select a dot, let me just say select a dot customer name, comma, b dot customer name, right? And this dot, because I don't want both of them to be called customer name, it's gonna confuse this. I can do this customer one. I can say this guy. You know, alias, you can use space, you can use as. So I can say this is my customer two. From, I can now pick customer table. Say this is A, comma, customers. Say this is B. So let me bring this from down. It's not a must, but just good to, so you can see both of them. Then I can say where. So this where is, oh, and remember I asked for their city too. So I can say this guy, I need a dot city. So I want to see the city where they're coming from. So here I can now say where a dot customer ID is not equal to is double this, or you use this guy, I can use exclamation mark equal to b dot custom ID. So I don't want the same people, the same person, but I need a criteria, and the criteria is they must be from what? The same city. I can say a dot city equals b dot city, right? Then I can, this one is not a must, but I can order by city. So the reason that I'm ordering, so I need to specify which of the city am I using. I can use a dot city. So and the reason for that, so you just see all the cities, so you can see their names. So you can see self-referencing in that, self-join in that. I'm joining these two tables and they are both the same table. So if I come here, I put this, if I run this, then you have all of them. And let's see. So you can see this customer one, cactus, something, and you can see this cactus here too. Also joined to another person, but they are from where? The same state. You can see I joined this guy to this guy to this guy. You can see this one is just like turning it all over. So we can see this guy now comes here, this guy now comes in. So self-join. But most of the time, you might not need it because even to me, I'm like, why are you joining yourself to yourself? But it's something that is possible in SQL, which is good that you do. Yes, do we have any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? So if there are no questions, let's go and see how union works. And yes, we can pick it up we can wrap up there today. We mentioned that union, you're just joining records. You'll be having longer rows, like longer records. So if I'm doing union, if I say join city from customers to cities from supplier, so I can say join union city cities from customers to cities from supplier. Now, the expectation is that first, if I'm using union, if I do select city from customers, and I'm writing union, then select, you can see that's another table, city from supplier, right? And if I come here, just to this, let me order by city first. Let me order by city. Good. So the expectation is that I will see my cities, but I should only see one record of my cities. All right. So it's expected to give me distinct value from both cities and supply, from both customers and supply, right? But you know, distinct have levels. There is distinct. So distinct being, it can be distinct in customer only, then distinct in supplier. By the time I merge it together, if I use union, it will look at distinct between both tables too. So if I run this, you can only see one city once. So this is union, right? But if if I use union all, what union all will do is to pick distinct records in my customers, distinct city, then pick corresponding distinct city in my suppliers. But at the point of union, creating the union, if two cities are like maybe the city is in customer and is also in supplier, it will show it twice. So let's see that. So let me just say union hub. So the guy doesn't have the power to remove duplicates across everything. So if I just say union all, right? It's just like, you know, all. So if I run this, so let's see, I just need one duplicate. Is there any duplicate too? So because the expectation only duplicate values from both. Let me see, why am I not seeing duplicate too? Removing the duplicate also, because that's the difference between them. I'm not seeing the duplicate too. Let me see something. Oh, don't mind me. I don't think. Let me run this. Sorry. The other one, it was still running this first guy. You understand? So that's why. So this first guy is union. So it will only run it once. So if I copy this, let me cut this out. I can see Paris. So this one is now the one for union hall. So I hope that's clear. So because they are the same thing, but one has the power to remove duplicate, and the other one, we just let everything go like that. So if I run this now, we can see Paris. That's just the main thing. You can see Sao Paulo. The guy just union everything. The guy no get that. And if you count star, if you select count of everything you have in this record from, put them in bracket. Let's accept this or that. Let me see. He's not accepting it. I'll just, he's complaining about order by. So let me just cut this guy. So I want us to see the difference in terms of records. So if I run this, can you see this one is having 120, right? If I remove this all and I run this, and this one is having 94. So you can see this one is unique, and this other one, the moment you put all, it blows up everything. We're having 120. Yes, so I think that's it. So that settles. So at least that one is additional. So if you are not in class, I will just remove this. But just know that union hall gives everything, whereby union, which is what you are expected to use. So it can help you to remove any duplicate records, which is expected to, which help you to remove redundant records in your data set. So just use union, but just know that there is the other guy called union hall. Yes, and that's it for us tonight. We can see most of our members have dropped. But do we have any question? Have we learned one or two additional things? Is there anything we'd like us to explain more? Any question?
Please, can we do more example of the union?
Okay. So so more examples. It's just thinking in terms of the example. So let's say I will be using only union now. I just use that one to create just clarification. So let's say you want to merge product ID and product name, and you want to unite it to customer ID and customer name. Two things. So union product ID, product name to customer ID. Can see it's, although you might in your mind might be thinking, why would you want to do that? But properly in real life example, you might want to merge transactions. So maybe you have some set of transactions from ATM cards and you want to merge it to transaction from POS and you want to merge it to transactions from mobile banking, right? So what you just do is, what are you tracking for each of the transactions? You're looking for transaction ID, transaction dates, the amount. Then you can add a column and call it channel, right? And do another one. So we can do that here too. So here, if I come here and type my script, I can say select star from product, right? If I run this, I can see product ID and product name. Call this product ID. Right? Now, if I want to specify the table this guy is coming from, I can just say this is, just quote it and say this is my product table. Right? So if I run this, it will just replicate product table, product table, product table, product table, product table. Or I can just put as source. Source. It didn't look like source of. Please give me 1 minute. Let me just put this up. 1 minute. All right. So I just want to put column name source here. So if I run this, so you can see the source. So I can say product table as my source. Then let's go and pick the second table, which is what? My customer table. So I just come here, select customer ID, comma, customer name. And I can say this one is my customer tab. As my customer table. Still as what? Source from customers. Right? If I run this, you can see source, customer tab, customer name. As long as I have 3 columns here and I have 3 columns here, I can just say, okay, I need both of them and remove this guy and put union. Right? If I'm putting this union, what this guy will do is, this guy is what it will use as column name. What I have here. What you'll be seeing as the final result is product ID, product name, and source. But if you scroll down, you will see that it has merged. If you scroll down now, you see everything source is still customer tab, customer tab. You can see how many records do you have for your customer name. Customers, you have 91. By the time I run this, you have more than 91 records. Now you can see your product. See, 1, 1. You have this first one, Alfred, is coming from customer tab. Is it choice or what is this one called? It's coming from product. That's how you have everything. Everything you can see product, customer, because the ID are almost the same thing. So the guy just sorted by this ID. can see every other thing now, customer. So it's very, union is one of the, I won't say simple, but at least once you understand it, the main thing is you must have 3 columns. Let's see maybe you now mistakenly had product category, or what else can I have on product? Okay, let's say price. Let's say you mistakenly have pricing, right? And you now want to, I'm expecting error. But if you are not having error, it will add additional column. But when it gets to customer, it will put no. So let's run it. Yes, it's telling me. So you can see it's telling you it must have equal number of columns. That's just to make sure you are adding proper things, right? So it's throwing error. So meaning you can't merge 4 columns to 3 columns. So you must make them 3 columns, then you have the error. Yes, and that's it. Do we have any question? Any question? All right, if there are no questions, that's where we'll be wrapping up today. And we'll be sharing the script with you. And if you have any question whatsoever, you can drop it on the WhatsApp chat. Then we'll be able to attend to it from there. And thank you for your time. And do have a great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a question actually. Well done, boss.
Yes.
So what I want to actually put in context is that the worksheet, just like we have it in our tutorial last time, I think you should help us and share.
Yes,
so
we do that.
all of us, we are working on the same data we already have, or you are sharing another.
The same data we already have. You can see customer, employee, order.
All right, that's
yes.
all right. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So let me see the record option. Yomi, I think. Yes, over to you, Yomi. Thank you for your time and do have a great weekend. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Hi, Yomi. Let me stop sharing.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.